Okay.
So tell me, so the name it's Perpetual. Okay.
Perpetual Fitness, yeah.
So why did you build this place? Like, what brought you to this point right here? Which is the most general, broad question, but we'll narrow it down as we go.
Well, I would say that what started it isn't necessarily that has evolved. So
Okay.
where I'm at today isn't necessarily the same reasons that I started it. I think that to sum it up,
Yeah.
I would say that I think it was just something that training people.
Yeah.
Once I found, CrossFit specifically. I mean, it's always been fitness, but
Yeah.
CrossFit specifically, and just the passion that I have for it, and
Yeah.
just wanting to give that to as many people as possible. And I think just having the self-awareness that I had the gift to, once I was able to learn the methodology and the mechanics and how to cue people and stuff like that, it just meshed really well with my, passion for business, and my ability to, just kind of relate to people and pull out the best in them. Like, that's something that just I've always had.
Yeah,
and so
for sure.
then when I got the tools to actually be able to help somebody with a specific area, it was just game over for me. So at that point, it was just a matter of where I was going to do it at, and it was a matter of figuring out the name, finding the space.
Which the name is kind of what brought me here too, is because I saw the name and everything. So it's from a business side of things, like fucking have a good name, people will come through. So I'm not telling you that, like, hey, you buddy, you need to have a good name for your business. No, and you were telling me too before this, you were saying, so it started with that little small space right there, that little kind of hallway, and then as people left, you started branching off and expanding from there to have what you have now.
Yeah, started with it's like I think 750 square feet or something over there.
Yeah.
And just personal training, and personal training that I within a year, I had my schedule was packed, and it was like it was a good problem to have, but it was like, okay, I'm now turning away people, because my time was the limiting factor. But I had also gotten people to a point where they'd been with me for a while, so they were all at like similar fitness levels.
Okay.
So in order to make room, I was like, okay, well, I got this guy and this guy, they train, within an hour of one another.
Yeah.
And they're similar fitness levels. I'm gonna see if they want to kind of work out together.
Yeah.
And so then they joined together, and they loved it, and it allowed me to open up time, and it was like, okay, cool. And then, eventually added a third person, whatever. And as I was doing that, then the space came available next door, and it was like, well, I just double down, and then classes, and then I could just start with personal training, and then as they get fitter, move them more into a class environment, and that's just kind of how it's been going since. Yeah.
How many coaches do you have now? Are you it still?
I have a full-time coach, and then a couple part-time coaches.
Damn, bro, that's awesome.
Yeah, so a total of 5 or 6, I think it was. Yeah.
So it's obvious you're doing something here that is making people understand CrossFit in a different way.
Yeah, and I think that it's not, I think, again, so it started with that, right? It started with fitness, and then I realized very quickly that in my own life and in my client's life, you can be super fit and miserable at the same damn time.
And you're right. Yeah. Nobody thinks about it, but
So I had 100-pound weight loss clients, or we get them to this goal, or I've had athletes and we get them to this goal. Yeah. And it's cool for that moment, maybe a day, a week, a month if it's a really big goal. But then it's once you reach that goal, it's like, all right, where do I go next? And then so it's the relationship, now it's the career, now it's the and so it just started really, and then just going through my own stuff, just as a young man trying to figure things out, I just realized how much of an element the mindset and the just having a fulfilled life. Fitness is a big pillar of that. It's not the answer. It's part of the answer, but it is not the answer. And that's what this place has evolved into. So like, it's the having the trying to be exceptional when it comes to fitness. And being able to go toe to toe with any other, gym, facility, trainer, whatever, when it comes to that. But also recognizing that if we can offer other things to people that are going to allow them to, at the end of the day, like, a fitness goal, right? You got a fitness goal. So like what's a goal you've had or something that you're working on?
Yeah, trying to gain weight. So trying to build muscle. Yeah.
Okay, and why do you want that?
Well, for me, just because self-esteem issues, honestly. You look in the mirror and you're not happy with what you see. Yeah, and you're like, I need to get bigger.
Right. And so you have this glimpse, or you have this kind of vision or this understanding of what your potential is.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have what you see yourself as in the mirror today.
That's true.
Right? And then whatever that gap is, whether that is here or here or here, is almost directly proportional to the amount of whatever we're going to be feeling inside, right?
That's a good way. I like that, though. Nobody said that, but that's true.
So
it's almost like an equation.
That gap, the better we feel. It's like you don't have to wait to get to here to feel happy. Yeah. It's when you feel like you're making progress towards that area, that's when we feel alive. Goals are there for us to become more.
Yeah.
It's never about the end goal. It is, but it's the process.
But that's not taught in today's like personal training world. So that's why what you're doing isn't something that people think. And you're right. I think maybe people have been taught that if you don't reach the goal, then you don't have a right to maybe feel good about yourself.
Or you feel like a failure.
Or you feel like a failure. Yeah. So rather than doing it that way, you look at it as a spectrum. It's kind of what you're presenting, and you're allowing people to feel good about themselves as they lessen this gap
in the process, right? Yeah. And that's how you gain momentum too. So like our number 2 core value here is celebration.
I love it.
So it's teaching people that it's a healthy thing to do is to be able to celebrate yourself, right? I always tell people that a great business idea would be a place where they rent cheerleaders out 24/7, and then somebody just follows around and just like points out all the amazing shit that you're doing. It's like, great job, like you're killing it, right? But we're the only ones that see everything that we have going on. Yeah. Right? Parents see a glimpse of us. Coworkers see a glimpse of us.
Wow.
Relationships, spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, see a glimpse of us. We're the only ones that are with ourselves 24/7, and so we're the only ones that see everything that we're trying to balance, right?
Yeah.
Our time, our emotions, our trying to advance in careers and our fitness and our nutrition and our own insecurities and things like that. And so we are prone to, if we're not careful, we're gonna spend 80% of our time focused on where we feel like we're not reaching that bar. Yeah. And maybe 10 to 20% on all the awesome things that we're doing. And it's like, that needs to be flipped. We need to spend 80 to 90% of our time focused on all the awesome shit that we are doing, where we're making progress at. And then 10% of that time looking and being like, all right, I can be better here. Like, shouldn't have said that to that person.
So you are managing.
Could have done better. Yeah. Teaching them how to, because if you wake up every day and all you see is how you're not reaching your potential, how much you lack. How much energy are you gonna have to get out of bed when you just feel like every day you're waking up and you're a failure?
Yeah,
right?
Doesn't even have to do with working out, just anything.
So you wonder, that's a huge reason why people are so tired these days, right? They feel like energy is
everything.
It's psychology for the most part, right? Sleep's part of it, nutrition's part of it, but you can eat, and feel like shit and not have energy, right?
Yeah.
I know people that sleep for 8, 9, 10 hours a night and they're still exhausted. There's a mindset component to that as well. And when you could acknowledge when you're making progress helps us feel alive. So when you can, in a healthy way, right? So like every day I have, I call it 3, 2, 1. So like 3 things I'm grateful for, 2 things, 2 wins that I've had, and then 1 intention I have for the day, 1 outcome.
Do you make every client who comes through your door do this, basically?
I don't give them all this at once because it could be overwhelming. This is like a process that it takes you add these in little by little. Yeah. But every client that comes in, they tell me either we start with like, what are you grateful for today? Or give me 3 wins.
Yeah.
Right? And 9 times out of 10, I'm coaching them into. I'm basically pointing out all their wins, because they come in, they're like nothing, like it's just not a natural thing for us to be focused on. And I can tell where people are focused just by asking those questions. Because if they don't have, if those things aren't top of mind, and then they're there, and I show them, it's like, okay, 30 seconds ago you had 0, and now we have 5, right? And I just helped you pick out 5 things that you're doing well. Yeah. You thought there was none. Yeah. It just tells me where their mind's at, and their mind's at I'm focusing on how they're not meeting their expectations for themselves.
So it's kind of, you're answering the ultimate question of retention and maintaining somebody's progress, as opposed to, because I mean that's every personal trainer's question. That's the ultimate thing, is like, you can have them do anything, any kind of exercise, any kind of fitness process, program, whatever, but finding a way to kind of psychologically hack the process is the way to go. And I like what you said. The whole thing about flipping it, the 80-10 or 90-10 thing was fucking perfect. Yeah,
it's got to be that way, and it's an uncomfortable thing, and it's a skill. It's like anything else, It's not something that is going to feel natural at first, but like, if this audience, if it's people that are trying to start a journey or continue on a journey, it's got to be, it has to be. It has to start there, and you got to see progress, because if you don't feel like you're making progress, it's just a matter of time before
you fall off the wagon. Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. The progress keeps the momentum going. So then when life events happen, instead of those being things that instead of it being a wall, it becomes a speed bump.
It is. If somebody were to try to do it by themselves, let's say, without your help or any other coach, like, what could they do to maybe push themselves in that direction of constantly keeping their successes like in their head?
I was reading this book, and actually Tony Robbins, who's I'm a big fan. Okay. He talks about this as well. But like, when they teach you how to, when they're teaching you how to drive a race car, right? It's like a Formula 1 car. They'll put you in like a simulator. And so when you get out on the track, they'll put you on a simulator, and they'll be like, within the next 10 minutes, we're gonna take over. So like, they can take over the wheel, right? Yeah. They can take control over the wheel. And they're like, we're not gonna tell you when, but at some point we're gonna take over the wheel as you're going relatively fast, right? Yeah. And the test is to not look at the wall when that happens. So you're going around a turn, they start taking up, so like shit gets out of control, right? And they say the test is, do not look at the wall. Why would they tell you that? Why do you think?
Makes you panic. Is it kind of like a mental thing? You just have to keep going forward, right?
Yeah. Okay. If we look at the wall, there's a much greater chance, I think it's like an 80% or greater chance of you running into the wall than hitting the wall.
True.
Because you're focused on it, right? Okay. You're focused on it. So they tell you to look where instead.
So do you look straight when you're
or look into the turn, or
look into the turn,
look in the direction that you want to go.
You set me up. Now I sound like an idiot. No, but I get what you're saying. So it's avoiding it. It's keeping your mind away from it, looking away.
Looking in the direction that you want to go in.
Okay.
Not in the direction that, because where focus goes, energy flows. Yeah. So if we're focused on things that make us fearful, anxious, feel guilt or shame, or we're worried about what this person thinks or what that person thinks, right? It's like whatever we're focused on, we're gonna feel. Yeah. Focus is feeling in a lot of the ways. So on that side of the paper, it's like we write out the things that are taking up their mental real estate. Right? Yeah. So like what others think about me, future outcomes, right? You ever think about
Oh, it's always fear of the future, man. Yeah. Like literally just not, and especially, I mean, shit, you know more than anybody. You got a freaking business. You're probably always waking up like trying to fight that mental struggle.
Yeah, there's always uncertainty, right? But like, you ever have like a parent or somebody doesn't like text you back right away when normally they do, and then
a girl, yeah,
and then so and then so there's all these, you play out all these stories, and like, you know, within 20 minutes you're certain that, you know, she doesn't like you because you said this or whatever, and then she texts you back. She's like, "Hey,
could have a whole other conversation about that too."
You know, my phone died or something. And it's just like, "Oh, but it felt real, right?"
Yeah.
And you're just thinking about it.
That's true.
But it didn't even happen, but it felt like it did.
Because because it's sort of because you just let your mind look in that direction.
Focused on that and what that means to you, whatever, and so that's going to create an emotion.
Yeah.
Right. So focusing on those things isn't going to allow us to be in a good place. So we put all those away over on that side of the paper, look away, and then over on this side of the paper, it's focus on. Right.
Okay.
What are the things that we need to focus on to keep us going in the direction that we want to, such as gratitude, celebrating our wins, exercise, nutrition, sleep, meditation, self-care, reading, growth, right? Learning, things that, setting goals that are going to get us excited, right? All the things, massages, whatever, filling your day with things that bring you energy and are more in your control is going to keep you in that state where now you're opened up to like, okay, what else is possible?
You also feel just more vibrant, honestly. It probably translates
100%.
into core feelings and everything. You want to talk to more people. You feel more confident.
Expands everything, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's true. But the whole thing probably goes into fitness as well with try not to look at the wall. Maybe if somebody's trying to reach a performance goal with CrossFit, that applies to that, I'm sure. You know, if you're doing a set of some kind, you can't necessarily acknowledge how you feel. You know, you can't doubt yourself. You have to put your mind where you need it to be.
100%. Yeah. So like yesterday we had it's directly parallel to CrossFit, right? And life in general. So yesterday we had a workout that had double unders, handstand push-ups,
double sucks,
heavy deadlifts, and like rowing.
Okay,
so you know, especially somebody, whether it doesn't matter who you are, it's one of those things is probably more of a weakness at the very least than the other, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're coming in and you're starting off, all those things are going to be weaknesses.
Yeah.
And so you come in here and you try to tackle, and if you have high standards for yourself, right? If you're somebody that wants to be able to do all these things and knows that they can, just you haven't had the time or the practice or the coaching or whatever to get you there.
Yeah.
And you come in and you try to be amazing at all four of those things, you're not going to leave here feeling very good.
No.
Right? So let's focus on the one thing. Let's set an intention. What's the one thing that you're going to focus on during this workout today? Everything else, if it happens, cool. If not, it's
don't
okay,
worry about
right?
it.
Just like move, feel good through those things. Put your energy and focus on those things. Allow yourself to take one step closer today in that area, and then you're going to leave here feeling good.
Yeah.
You come back the next day and you get a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, a little bit, have a little bit more skill, whatever. That's the thing about CrossFit is it's like anything, the blessing is usually the curse. There's so many things to do and be good at that it can feel overwhelming and frustrating, and daunting.
That's true.
But the only way to get there is through, but at the same time, those are also that's what keeps it so engaging.
That's why it's so interesting.
Because it doesn't get boring. But you got to look at it as a process, and so that's why it's not about being fit tomorrow. It's about being fit indefinitely.
Yeah, just
and
forever.
When you have that long game in mind, then it allows you to be like, okay, well maybe I don't need to have this tomorrow, but it'd be cool maybe in the next 3 months, and then from there I work on something else, and now in a year I've made this much progress, and I feel great about it, versus feeling like shit because I didn't do everything
what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you're kind of dealing with two kinds of people. Then you're dealing with the people who, like you said, expect perfection, expect them to do everything, so they hit the wall of maybe not living up to their own expectations. And then you got the people on the other end who maybe don't think they can do anything, and then so you got that side, so you're like dealing with two opposite ends of mental shit going on.
And the answers are the same though. The answers are the same for the most part.
Same philosophy.
And I mean, I think that's a just like another blessing is a curse type of situation is that a lot of people that are attracted, at least to this place, I'm assuming probably CrossFit in general, probably fitness in general, are people that have high standards for themselves.
Yeah.
And so which is my preferred crowd. You know, I want people that want to be more in all areas of their life around me. Because
somebody coming in like, oh, I don't know about this. I might just
I don't really give a shit about my life. Or, you know.
You're like, you're an interesting client. I don't know about you.
Just like, all right, we gotta, because that's something that I can't. You know, people gotta want it at the end of the day. You know. And so that's something that I can't. You got to participate in your own rescue, so to speak.
But your philosophy does tackle the idea of wanting it, or at least making it apparent to people. Like, you know, do it this way, and then you'll feel that motivation kind of bubble up, I guess. You know?
But it's got to be. You have to have something that you want, that excites you, and I can help people figure out what that is. But if that part isn't there, then you know, that's something that has to be worked out internally. Like, okay, what is my? Because there's some people that just they want to, you know, they're very happy with, you know, whatever their life looks like, how it is, and you know, they don't want to continue striving, getting better. I honestly don't know how that could actually be true. I think when I meet people like that, it's just like, I don't know that you can really.
It's hard to work with that, I'm sure. But I guess it comes down to the, you know, you choose, at the end of the day, you kind of do choose the client to a certain degree. Like you kind of have to, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that they're not going to come here unless they're serious about it.
It's true. It's true.
And if that's the case, then that's the people that, you know, that tends
that
to
are
work
gonna
out
come here anyway. Yeah. For real though.
But it's the people that have the highest standards that are. That's what I'm saying, where that's a blessing and a curse too, because it's an amazing thing to have high standards and to expect more and to want to be more, right?
Yeah.
Because when we become more, then we have more to give others, right?
Yeah, that's for real. That's a good way to put it.
And so that's a beautiful thing, but it's also when we have high standards and we're not careful, that's where we're spending all that time beating ourselves up for not meeting those high standards.
Yeah.
Versus recognizing that, no, we just have high standards, so we're trying to be a lot, you know? And so it's okay to not be there yet. It's a great thing to keep that. Like we don't. That part is what it is. We shouldn't necessarily change our standards just because we need to lower them, right? Keep them high, but recognize that it's a process to get there, and that's where all the magic happens anyway.
Give yourself that glory for the small successes.
Yes.
Yeah. Reward yourself.
Yeah.
Give yourself
enjoy
time.
the journey. You know.
Patience is hard, man. I think that's also too, you know, at the end of the day, that's the key ingredient. Maintaining patience is a fucking tough one too.
And consistency.
Yeah, for anybody. At any point in time in your athletic journey, going to, you know, like, because I want to build muscle. Not there yet. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
I suck.
I know. Hitting that fucking wall.